Yeah.
All right. Let's get this thing started.
That doesn't matter, does it?
I think they could cut that part out.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Welcome to episode 31 of Hair Biz Radio with your host, Zakiyrah
and Mikey.
We have a special guest host today, Mikey.
Yes, so I know I've been gone traveling, some this, some that, the other. It feels so good to be back.
What have you been doing, Mikey?
You know, had a little fun.
Yeah.
Went to Vegas.
How was
and Vegas is Vegas.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah, we went to this big music festival, so we couldn't. It was good. We went to EDC, and I was like, it's this big music festival. It has like 400,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's literally nuts. And I'm like, you know what? Let's go to this thing before I get too old and don't want to go. So I want to have the experience now while I'm still very, very young, guys. Very young still.
Young.
Yeah. Yeah, and then came back and then had another trip that I can't really talk about. But I'm going to be so excited to talk about that trip because when I tell you we have big things in the works.
Yes.
Yeah, so big things in the works, which we'll get into. Hopefully,
big things popping.
Yeah, big things popping. Probably in the next couple episodes, we'll be able to talk about that information. It's going to be great for everybody in the hair industry.
Yep.
Pretty big deal. So, yeah, that's about it. And then, working on some new projects because of that trip right now.
Yeah.
And working on new products always. I will be actually headed to China next month, so I'm going to have some great footage and everything else.
Are you taking us with you, or?
No, not yet. We're not balling like that yet. So doing that. Actually, that's in July.
China.
Yeah, next month I'm going to be over in the UK. Expansion maybe one day. Possible expansion with some other projects that we have going on. So, yeah, I mean, what's up?
Well, while you were gone, they held it down in the office.
Yeah.
And Shay held it down on the podcast.
I know.
We had a great time. Some great people came through. So it was just amazing.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, but let's dive into this episode. When we first got started with the podcast, we didn't really talk about how we got started in the hair industry or what that process was like, briefly. So just everything that you have going on now and everything that's, coming to pass within the company and how we're growing and all these different things that we have going on. Let's kind of go back to the beginning so people can understand like that we didn't just, fall off the sky with private label extensions.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't overnight. I mean, it happened fast, but it definitely wasn't overnight. It definitely wasn't without a lot of pain, a lot of pushing, and yeah, so let's get into it, because people obviously look at me, and they're like, wait a second, you're in the hair industry? And I'm like, yeah, of course it makes sense, right?
Walks around with this hair fleece hat.
Yeah, I got the hair fleece hat on, but yeah, the hair industry. It's funny because I actually still remember the moment when myself and my business partner decided we should think about hair.
Yeah.
Right, and we're out to lunch because we love our lunch.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how his girlfriend would go to the salon, spend all day, and $700 of his money.
Yeah.
And it was like, this is nuts. Like, what is this? Like, what is going on here? Somebody's making money.
Yeah.
Right? So we started to look at it a little bit more. And this is 2013 before we really launched.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, it's a long time ago now. So, just over 5 years ago. And we were looking at it and selling online, which has kind of always been my specialty.
Mm-hmm.
There were people selling online, but it wasn't not a ton of people. There wasn't much competition. And for some reason, we had this huge idea of starting kind of like a network marketing for hair.
Yeah.
Right? So we had this idea, network marketing for hair, and we were going to call it Luxury Hair Direct. Right? So we still own the name Luxury Hair Direct, still the parent company name. So what it would be is we thought it would be perfect because it would allow you to sell online, and then you'd get other people to sign up to sell online, and you'd make a commission off of them.
MLM.
Yeah, kind of like an MLM, right? So we spent way too much on some really crappy software. If remember, we were talking about the email the other day. So we got this software.
Yeah,
it was horrible because there wasn't back then like really good MLM software, like in 2013 going into 2014.
Yeah.
So we spent way too much on the software. That was definitely a huge mistake. And, you know, we got started in just I think probably January 2014 is when we really started kind of going.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was okay. But one of the biggest problems was with MLM, that model is everyone was so excited that they could make money off other people.
Yeah.
That they spent all the time, and this is very common in MLMs.
Yep.
Very common is they spend all the time trying to get
people. Yeah.
recruiting people instead of selling.
Exactly.
And we used to do these calls and we're like, guys, like we got a lot more distributors. Like, this is great, but you guys aren't really selling.
Yeah.
Like, selling's kind of the key, right?
So let's back up a little bit. So when you guys started Luxury Hair Direct, what was that process like, onboarding employees, or who did most of the work, or?
If you're not watching, I'm raising my hand. Pretty much set all that stuff up myself, and employees. We had actually hired one girl. Mm-hmm. None of you guys actually got to meet her. And she was only with us for about 2 weeks. And it was a real simple kind of data entry project as far as like setting up all the products. Mm-hmm. And she spent all day trying to set up these products, which, I mean, it's a little bit of a process, but it's not an all day thing, right? Mm. And it took her all day. And I was like, look, like, I was trying to be nice here. And I was like, look, this took you like all day. It shouldn't, like, and she's like, well, how long would it take you? I was like, probably 15 minutes.
But Mikey, come on now.
No, I swear to God this happened. I swear to God.
Mikey does stuff in like 0.2 seconds and then tells everybody else that they should be doing it in 0.5.
Well, yeah, like half as fast is good. Like, that's fair.
Not half.
But look, so I was like, okay. So this is when I was actually still working, right? So I was in the real estate industry. So I was trying to set this up, you know, full-time plus probably 55 hour a week, you know, running a real estate company, and trying to set this up from like 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. and then getting home at 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. So it's like these days were long. Mm-hmm. So I'm sitting there, and it was like the next section that she would have had to do the next day. And I'm like typing, and I'm like, phone's ringing, you know, and everything. I'm on the phone, you know, doing this. And I got it done in about 15 minutes. And she wasn't real happy with me. And but I was nice about it.
You got the products done in 15 minutes.
What she did in one day.
8 hours.
8 hours. I did in 15 minutes.
Wow. Right?
Which, you know, I'll get into in a second. So I'll never forget, I go to like the third floor of our building, and I see like her car just going out in the parking lot. And I was like, isn't that my employee? Like, where... was that her? And she had a kind of a like this red car that had like a dent in it, so I kind of knew it was. I was like, I wonder where she's going. She never came back. She never came. She was out. She's like, look, I didn't mean to offend her. I wasn't trying to offend. Sometimes we have to have people, and it happens to me too, like we have to be kind of blown away with things where in my reality, I'm like, there's no way that can happen. Then you see someone that did it, and you're like, wait, it is possible. Yeah. Like, that happens a lot, not just in life, but in business. For sure. Right? So sometimes you need someone to show you, like, look, this is possible. Like, I know with you guys, sometimes I'm like, look, we're going to do this, right? Kind of like some of the strategies we have right now when, you know, my consultants were like, hey, if you want to be the best, you have to do this. And I'm thinking in my head, there's no way we can do that. But we're doing it right now. Yeah. Right? So she was gone. And back to me, you know, kind of getting everything set up and going. You know, we had these custom boxes made that we thought were real cool. These damn boxes, let me tell you.
A pain in the ass to ship.
They were the best, worst idea of all time. Yeah. The problem was shipping them in. Somehow it got messed up in customs, everything else, and it sat there. And we had like a $1,700 bill for letting these couple boxes sit there. So that was a business mistake.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but, you know, going back to the first employee, you know, she was only with us like a week or two. you're going to go through people. Like, it's really hard to find good people. So, like, if you're starting a new business and you get to the point where you can hire someone, we weren't even really ready to hire someone then, but, we had to have somebody help, right? You're probably going to go through some people. I mean, on our side, I think we've been really lucky with a lot of the people that we've got part of our team, and we have a strong, a pretty strong team, but, there's going to be this kind of stuff happen, So then we got everything set up and, getting some sales here and there. Not much, but that happens when it's your first business, like just kind of learning about hair. Yeah, we're like learning about hair, doing this, doing that. And then I think it was kind of mid 2014. That's when we brought on 2.0, who's still with us today.
Yeah.
4 years.
Old 2.0.
Good old 2.0. 4 years later, still grinding with us. But, for someone like 2.0 and like yourself, like you think about because when did you start with us? Was it
July 2014.
July 2014. So he must have been like February or March 2014.
Yeah.
So when, for him, he looks at it now, like from where we were, and was like, holy cow. Because, the new people start now and they're just like, oh, this company's booming. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And
I think 2.0 and I were in your office downstairs.
Yeah. Like before we even had an office, you guys were working out of
the real estate office.
The real estate office.
Yeah.
Which, we just didn't have.
With our laptops.
Yeah,
our personal laptop.
With your personal laptop. We didn't have money to buy computers. We're Macked out right now. We got Macs everywhere.
Mac Daddies everywhere.
We got Mac Daddies everywhere, but it's like, we were just like bare bones startup.
Yeah, I think I started July 2014, and I was laughing because I remember I didn't even think about being in the hair industry at all. And I was doing a baby shower, I think maybe.
Yep, yeah. I remember that. Like an all white baby shower.
And
I
was like, that. Do you model? And I'm like, I have before. And I started off doing a hair shoot with Luxury Hair Direct.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, I realized a couple weeks later that I had applied for an internship that you posted on Craigslist. And I remember seeing your picture and was like, this guy looks like a creep.
Nice.
And then, I started with the company, and I was able to leave my other job where I was, and then it's been great ever since.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Just starting with a startup company is very different because, you have to go through the ups and the downs with them because it's not like, a corporate job that is already kind of set in stone and everything is in place and structure's there and you're going to kind of hit the bumps as they hit the bumps.
Yeah, we had no structure.
Yeah.
Nothing planned. I mean, obviously now we're systems, because once you kind of get to a certain point where you have so many orders and clients and this, that, the other, like you have to get it together real quick. So yeah, we had you guys, and that's in 2014.
That was 4 years ago.
Yeah, moving into 2015. Business was...
I think this is the longest job I've ever had.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, you're not that old.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, 2015, we didn't really have much go on. Like, we were pushing in 2015, but it wasn't like anything... Not much was moving. I think, like, we actually doubled our sales in 2015 from 2014, so that was good.
Yeah.
But it still wasn't, like, really enough.
Yeah.
And then in 2016...
Or 2015, we had the big...
we had the big conference.
We had the big conference.
Yeah. So we had the big conference where we brought in, like, Eric Thomas as a speaker. Your dad, Kendall Ficklin, came in. Yeah. Awesome speaker. We had the conference all day. Yeah, that was...
That was phenomenal. And then we did a big after party at Opera.
Yeah, I got yanked out of there.
Mikey was on 1,000.
I was on I think I bought $500 worth of shots in 3 minutes, and everyone drank them. Danny at Opera was bringing out all the bottles. A good friend of mine owns Opera, so like all the bottles are coming out. The sparklers,
had, like,
the girls.
Escalades from the building. Literally, a movie was created.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good.
Yeah, that was real fun.
That was, I mean, we need to eventually do, now that we have like a big staff and everything, do another event like that. That was really cool.
A conference, a hair industry conference.
Yeah.
Because we don't necessarily have distributors
anymore.
No, So in 2016, when did we start?
But 2015 was still a struggle.
It was, it was.
It was a struggle.
It was. But we started getting, partnerships and
Yeah.
all of that.
Making a little bit of a name for ourselves.
Yeah. So that was good.
And then 2016 is when we started the idea and the first website for private label extensions.
Yep.
And private label was like, hey, you know what? There's no one doing wholesale really well here in the USA to service the stylists and stuff, right?
Right.
And it's funny, as soon as we did that, I mean, it really took off for us.
Mm-hmm.
It really took off. And then in about March or April, I had this idea. I'll never forget it. I had this idea for dropship bundles.
Oh, yeah.
About the drop shipping system and how it all worked.
This was 2016?
That was 2016.
Oh,
it was
wow.
it's not that old.
Oh, we started off with Shopify.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then dropship bundles, I had the idea like on a Friday.
Yeah.
I literally woke up Saturday morning at like 4 or 5 in the morning. I worked 2 days straight. And I think on Monday, I was like, guys, guess what? We have a new service. Dropship bundles. And it was like, the idea was perfect.
Yeah.
It was very similar to like the luxury hair direct idea, but I think we took a lot of the feedback from luxury hair direct. It's when people sell somebody else's brand, they don't really feel like it's their own. Right. So we made the mistake with luxury hair direct where it was the MLM setup where people weren't trying to sell, they were just trying to recruit people, right?
Yeah.
You take a hair company like Maven, who started maybe like a year or two ahead of us, who's done phenomenal. Like, congrats to those guys, right? Where it's an affiliate, right?
Which is different.
Which is different because it's just direct sales and they make a percentage of those sales. It's not like, oh, I get, I can sell direct, make 15%, but then if the person under me sells, I make 5%, and the person of that, like that. So, so they went the right route. We just chose the wrong route.
One, but a different one.
A different route.
Yeah.
But we pivoted in 2016. And I think late 2016, we actually shut the whole luxury hair direct system down.
Yeah.
We're just like, it's just not.
No, that was 2017.
Was it 2017?
Yep.
Yeah, when we were just like, we're not spending any time on it.
Yeah.
The private label and the drop ship because, one thing we know in the hair industry, people love to have their own brand.
Yeah. So it was good though because a lot of the luxury hair direct distributors were able to, create their own brands and get more training on, how to sell the product and stuff. So that was good. And the people who weren't selling just didn't,
They just fell off.
Yeah.
They weren't selling. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah. But we didn't talk about the structure of how we started off with they had to pay to be a distributor. And then eventually, it was free to join. And so just that.
Which made it even worse, actually, because it's funny when you charge a lot. Like a lot of times I'll take online classes. Like if I spend $1,000 on an online class,
you're going to take it.
I'm going to take that class. I'm going to go through everything. I put my money into it. And that's actually one of the biggest problems with people in business, right? With how some services and stuff are set up. If you make the barrier to entry too cheap or free, you have nothing invested. So it's so easy to get in, but so easy just to walk away. Right. So, the system that we had previously, where you had to pay to be a distributor worked out well because people invested. But then when we made it free, then it wasn't good.
Right, because everybody joined.
Because just everyone joined, but they didn't really care.
Exactly.
And then
they didn't have any money invested.
I think the best strategy we have now is, when people get their websites, because like our website services, doing very well. Is they're like, man, I have my website. Now I'm really in it. Like they have something to show people. We set everything up for them so they don't even really have to worry about that kind of stuff. That I think really changed the game for us in 2016, which was kind of like our breakout year. That's actually, I remember in January, about April is when I started full time for the hair business of 2016.
Oh, yeah, 2016.
So I was working, the 50, 60 hours a week. While trying to get the hair business going, building my team, which was you 2.0. I think we had hired TR at that point.
Yep, we did. We had TR.
We had TR. So we had like a team of 3. We had one office.
Yeah.
Remember our one office showroom, which we still have today, but we will be moving soon, everybody.
Soon.
I know we've been talking about it forever, but no, for real, it's like happening. So we had that one space. Remember that one space?
Yep. And then we actually didn't paint until later on, right? Or did we?
No, I went in there. Remember, before. I went in there. I had the ceiling.
Yeah.
I had the photos of me. I like went in there and I was like, okay, like, we're starting to get we're starting to be pretty legit now, but we still don't have money to hire a contractor. Yeah. Let me put on my hat and I'm the contractor. I took out all the ceiling, the
you
lights.
did the ceiling.
I took
I
out
know
the
you
ceiling.
painted.
I hired someone to paint.
By the way.
Yeah, you did, right? And I painted the walls and all that.
Yeah,
We
I
used
do
that
remember
Ralph
that.
Lauren
Ralph
metallic.
Lauren blue. Yeah.
That metallic blue paint.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't have the budget to pay for the stuff. So I'm like, I'm the guy today.
Yeah. I thought about something before, how a lot of people ask about using the hair boxes, not like the white and black ones that we have, but the long skinny ones for the hair. And we started off with those, actually. So talk a little bit about like the dangers of using those. Like they're like the rectangle skinny boxes.
Yeah, they were probably about almost a foot tall, like a foot long.
Yeah.
About 1.5 inches tall and about 3 or 4 inches wide.
Yeah.
And it held one bundle. So it was this beautiful box.
Yeah.
That held
Custom
box, had our name, logo, everything done up, had a little window so you could see the hair. Those cost us about $1.50 a box. But when someone orders a bundle deal, you have to use three of those boxes. So it's like $4.50 in these boxes. Now, granted, it did look nice, but as soon as the stylist sees that box, gone.
But shipping, what?
And the shipping of it was just like twice as much as it is now.
Yeah.
You know, so we definitely, that's another thing we made the mistake, was going with boxes. Like, everyone likes these boxes, but it's okay if you sell like 1, 2, 3 orders a day. But when you're selling like over 100, like over 100 orders a day, like every day, and way more than that some days, like it gets out of control.
Yeah, for sure. So if you're thinking about, customizing packaging for your hair brand, I would suggest looking into the custom silk bags. It's very cost efficient when shipping, and then it looks nice too.
Yeah, it just works out better. I mean, you want to have obviously a good presentation when people get a package.
Yeah.
And, I know we work with our clients with the tags and the bags and all this kind of stuff. People are happy when they get this stuff.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Really happy. And relative to a lot of other hair companies that, like a retail hair company, we're obviously wholesale. So we don't doll up our packaging for people because they're going to just put in their own.
But we do for drop shipping.
We do for drop shipping, yeah. But, so when our drop shipping clients send something out, it's usually looking a lot better than a lot of hair companies that are sending stuff out.
Oh, for sure.
Especially the smaller ones.
Yeah.
So, for a low cost to get people to have great packaging, it helps out a lot.
Yeah.
So the packaging was definitely something we've made our mistakes.
Definitely.
And some of these things cost us some money. But, it's just one of those things we just had to push through. It's funny that we're going into the summertime because I know a lot of people, tax season obviously is the busiest time for hair.
Yeah.
And a lot of people got started and they're like getting their first sales and this, that, the other. But now it's like, what are we about to go into June?
Yep.
And June, July are the 2 slowest months.
Slow down.
Yeah, it's the 2 slowest months for the hair industry. So if you just got in and all of a sudden it's getting slow, like, don't panic.
Yeah.
We're not panicking. Like, our sales this month are way down compared to like 2 months ago. It's because it's just, that's it.
Month. Yeah.
June, July is slow. So I remember in 2016, I just got full-time, paying myself a little salary. I'm all excited. I mean, because literally working years, not paying myself a penny.
Yeah.
I remember when I got my first check and I was like looking at it, I was like, finally a little bit of money.
Or the business you started before this?
No, in this business.
Okay,
yeah, the business before I was good, you know, for a while until it got messed up. But like this business, when I got my first, I mean, think about it. It was almost 3 years of work before putting in money.
Yeah.
And putting in money.
Yeah.
Investing. Till I made my first dollar. That I personal, not the business or anything.
Yeah.
Personal. So think about that. 3 years
before you actually even saw any of the money that
before $1 made my first dollar. Invested everything back in the team, in the space, and the technology stuff we were doing. So yeah, that was like so huge. But then, a couple months later, I think July, it really slowed down.
Yeah.
And I don't think I paid myself for like 3 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, like the company didn't have money.
Yeah.
Like we need to order inventory, employee money, need employees. I got rent now, like all this stuff. I'm like, I can't pay myself, which was a little bit of a struggle then, but push through, and then,
But that's the journey of entrepreneurship.
It really is. I mean, when you get to a point where you have a little bit less of those types of concerns, like your problems, I always say, your problems last year compared to today, you just kind of laugh at.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the stuff, think about all the stuff we've gone through over the years. I mean, really, if you look at it and think about it, like we thought this little thing was this big ordeal.
Yeah.
Now we're just like, oh, we got a system for that.
Yeah.
Systems. Systems.
Systems are great.
Yeah, systems are great.
Yeah,
So,
I remember like having to manually like do a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff we had to manually do, like emails, manually send out emails, manually wholesaling. With the wholesaling, like everything now is automated or systems.
Technology.
Yeah. So that's really good. Just seeing that, the difference between, then and now.
Yeah, like, once you get to a certain point, you have to really learn technology to save you time. Like the automated follow-up emails, service ticket systems that have canned responses.
Yeah.
So it's like, because we get so many emails in a day, 20 of them will be about the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So we have a canned response for it. Like every big company does. It's just,
for sure.
there's no way you would it would make no sense to manually type that on every time. The same thing every time. Canned response. So yeah, that got us into, going into the end of 2016 was pretty good for us. Like started picking up. And then I think honestly it was, I kind of took a little break around New Year's of 2017. And I can remember sitting in my kitchen. I still remember my glass table and this like old style chair that I had that I loved. And I remember sitting there and I was always thinking of like, I'm looking at these other companies, not necessarily in the hair industry, but just looking at other companies and like, man, this company made it. That company made it. Like really, we're working so hard. It was never a question of our work ethic. I felt like we were running like on a gravel road, like trying to sprint on this gravel. And I try to figure, why does it look like there's all these other people sprinting on this nice paved road? The kind of pavement that has like the little bounce in it. It's got the little rubber in the pavement kind of thing. I see these people, some of my friends. I'm like, how are they doing this? And one of the things I think it was my new dedication. I mean, I was always learning, but it was like a dedication to education.
Dedication. I got to write that down. Dedication to education.
It literally changed my life for our business. Like the stuff we were doing and the stuff that I kind of learned with some classes and some other stuff. Like it was within 30 days, I think we started noticing difference in like our sales.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And our sales last year, I mean, I thought we were ballers last year. I mean, we weren't,
we were doing it last year.
We were doing it. I mean, yeah, we did it last year, but like I finally felt like we got over that hump.
Yeah.
Right. Cause it's like, you're going to struggle for a while. And if somehow you get over these humps and you don't struggle, like, hats off to you. You're like the first in any business.
You're the best.
You're the best because it's just part of the process, right? It's like getting over these humps every time. So finally in 2017, I was like, man, we can like, hire more people and like buy more iMacs and
have Christmas party,
have like a baller Christmas party and like actually, talk about, hey, let's give you a raise and more opportunities and other kind of stuff. I mean, it was so nice to get to that point.
Yeah. But it took work
and investing back in the business. Like, all the money we make investing back into the business. I mean, my business partner who doesn't, he's just silent, but we're 50-50 with the money we put in. Think about this. He didn't get his first check for really almost 5 years.
Wow.
5 years. He's not involved in the day-to-day. I like to tell him. I give him updates on stuff. We talk about like business strategy, and he's working on the real estate side anyway, which is his specialty, so it works out good. But imagine being part of a business 5 years, not taking a dollar out. And I can tell you, honestly, I see this not just in the hair, it's very prevalent in the hair industry, but in other industries as well, is the differences that I see. And one of the reasons why we grew so fast is people get real loosey-goosey with money.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? Like, there's like all these parties all the time, company parties. Like, yeah, we had a great Christmas party, right?
Yeah.
And we try to do like team outings and stuff, but that's team building. But people get like so crazy. The business owners, all of a sudden I see like these business owners, they're like Gucci this, Gucci that,
Gucci
Prada
this,
this.
Gucci that.
They're flexing. Like I see them with like not one diamond watch, but they're like this, like the diamond watches. Like, and you know what? That's cool.
The
like,
business money becomes personal money, and there has to be a fine line between.
Yeah, like you're not thinking of, because it's more than just the business, right? It's the business, and like especially for us now, like with almost 20 employees.
Yeah, I was gonna say, especially when you employ people,
it's a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Like it's not about like me as a business owner. It's not about me at all. It's the whole team. Right. And if I'm out there, I mean, I don't even wear a watch. I have an Apple Watch. I don't remember the damn password because I got too many passwords and all this stuff, but like, if I was out there spending all this money on this, I promise you, our company wouldn't have grown as fast as it did. 1,000% it would not. So why, like, when people are like, it's like, oh, that company's got big, I don't know, maybe they put all this money into it, which we didn't. We put in hard work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Honestly, I don't know if I publicly say it, but I think we only put in the beginning about 20,000 each. Right. And then, so that's only about like 40 grand to start up a business like that. And we wasted a lot on that stupid software.
Oh yeah.
Like there was a lot of grinding to get here,
Grinding.
A lot of grinding. So if we had spent that money on frivolous stuff, if we had like, right now we're on top of each other in these offices. We've tried to get as many offices as possible till we get this new building. But like to get to the point where we're reinvesting back in the business with real estate now.
Yeah.
We're buying, as long as everything goes well with environmental, we're actually buying land, like an acre and a half of land so we can build our own warehouse distribution. Like we're not renting, we're buying.
Yeah.
It's all part of the company. Like once you do that kind of stuff,
really good.
It makes it like a safe place, right? Because like our goal is to pay the building off in a year, right? So if we don't have a payment for our building, okay, think about that. You have property taxes, electrical, some small stuff, but you don't have like the rent payment, which would be like $5,000 a month for something that big, okay? If there is a downturn in the business for people stop wearing hair as much, it's never going to happen. But just in case the economy goes bad because, who is just tweeting up a storm and messes things up, something, I don't know. Like it's much safer for the company. The employees don't have to be as worried because they're not like, this company has all this overhead. They're bursting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've
you have
seen
to think
companies,
about stuff like that.
You really have to, so like a lot of companies, if that ever happens, they'll get wiped out. I'm planning for, the future for this stuff and the future for everybody part of the company.
Yeah.
Right. So like I joke about it all the time. I mean, most of you guys drive a nicer car than me. Like literally, I mean, I can go buy a nice car right now, like no problem, but I don't because I'm like, you know what? It's not going to help the company right now.
Right.
It's going to be a distraction. You know what I mean? I need to just focus on the business, focus on the business. So God, it's been a journey. And now we're in 2018. Think about all the stuff we're doing. Tell them all the stuff we're doing. Okay. So we got.
So we just revamped Private Label, which looks gorgeous, by the way. If you haven't been on there, make sure you check it out. We'll put the link in the show notes. And then we just revamped Dropship Bundles.
We did.
Which looks amazing.
Love it.
New logo, new website. And then we did the free business tools. So
we launched the free business tools. Spent some money on that for everybody. Free.
Yep. Free business tools for everybody. So you can do your logo, create your own logo, privacy policy, which is updated with the new compliance laws. We have the
terms of service,
terms and conditions. And then we're working on a bunch of other stuff too.
Yeah, we have actually I haven't launched it yet. But we have the new tool because
for the labels.
Yeah, for the labels, because a lot of people struggle designing their own labels in Canva. Canva is awesome, which we'll get into. Yeah. But so we have like pre-made, like if you go to Canva, the pre-made templates are for like Facebook posts, Instagram posts, Facebook Twitter, ad, Pinterest, Twitter. Ours are like 2-ounce edge control, 4-ounce edge control, bundle tags. Like we basically built a mini Canva just for these types of products. Yep. And we're giving it away for free. like 100% for free. Whether you work with private label extensions, dropship bundles or not, like it's still free.
Yeah.
It's a free tool because we're trying to help people here in the hair industry, right? So in the last year, we launched our Facebook group.
Oh yeah,
which is
over 17,000 now, almost at 17,000.
Almost at 17,000. Yeah. We're live in the group right now, so anybody in the group, hey, what's up? What's up? This year we gave away 6 laptops.
Yeah,
6 laptops to aspiring entrepreneurs that were trying to run their business from their phone or trying to get their business started up.
We gave away hair. We gave away
for the prom. What was that for?
For the prom, but we also gave away bundles in the group as well.
Yep.
We gave away silk bags. We gave away a logo. The new bonnets we just came out with. We gave away bonnets. We gave away a lot of stuff.
Trying to just give back.
Yeah.
Right? Like I think you get to the certain point and you have that social responsibility to help others that kind of are trying to come up and need a little assistance.
Yeah.
Because I remember like when we first started, nobody helped us. Or when I was started my entrepreneurship career like 12 years ago with my food business, like no one was helping me.
Right.
No one, anything. And if I just had that little anything from up above, like as far as like, here, you know what, you're doing it this way, maybe this, or if I had a support group, kind of like our Facebook group, or if someone's like, man, I know you don't have the funds right now and you're trying to run your business, here's a laptop. Like those are the kind of things I would have died for.
Yeah.
So to be able to give back and try to do that for entrepreneurs now, it adds kind of a whole more rewarding aspect, I think, to the business.
Definitely. Yeah, for sure.
We launched this podcast, which we're on episode 31.
Yeah, that's a lot of people who do podcasts, they don't even make it to the 5th episode.
Really?
So, yep. That's, so this is very good that, we were even able to make it to episode 31.
And we want to podcast a lot more. I really want to do 2 episodes a week. We're kind of limited with space. I mean, we have like our editors over here and everything else. Like we are so out of space till we get into our new building. We're going to have a nice podcast set up. Yeah. I'm going to do something nice because I don't like
these.
The way the microphones and stuff are set up. I'm not a huge fan. I mean, all the equipment's great.
Yeah.
What else happened? We launched Hair University at hairuniversity.co. We'll put the link in the show notes.
Yep. We have some courses on there.
Zakiyrah just came out with her Canva course.
Yep. The Canva course is on there.
Yeah. So if you need to figure out how to like design all sorts of graphics and stuff for your business
cards, anything really.
Yeah. And you know what I noticed about the education component? I think that is great for us. There's a lot of online stuff and YouTube University, obviously, but sometimes I think it's really hard for people to learn when it's not related 100% to their industry.
Yep.
Like if I'm taking a Canva, like if I was a woman just obsessed with hair, right? And I'm taking a Canva course and they're talking about like creating designs for, dog biscuits.
Yeah. Like,
and I'm afraid of dogs.
Yeah.
Like I'm just not going to connect.
I'm terrified of dogs, by the way.
Yes. It's really funny. It's really funny. So... She just looks ridiculous when, like, she sees a little animal. It's like, I thought it was a pit bull and it's a little pipsqueak. Okay. So, I think it really helps. That's one of the things we're going to really push hard this year is our courses, create a lot more courses.
The great thing about Hair University, though, is like you were saying, it's niched. Like it's specifically for everyone in the hair industry. You won't get on there and, not be able to find something that's going to help you within your business in the hair industry.
Yeah, and just as an example that you can, just basically take lead from is with our dropship program, there's a lot involved and there's some training involved. So, one of the first courses I created was how to do dropshipping. So if you have a business, whether you're in the hair industry or something else, sometimes it's great just to create a course that explains everything so your customer can go through that journey of like from A to Z, how to work with your company.
And it cuts down on service tickets, phone calls. God. Sometimes, because some people, still want to call.
I know. They want to talk to a real person, which is cool. So, we podcast, Facebook group, YouTube channel, Instagram's going well. They're making a lot of changes to social media, how stuff's showing. So I think if you're starting a business now and you look at people that have these huge followings, don't get discouraged because I think very few people, obviously some people have a breakout, right?
Yeah.
But most new businesses or just current businesses, their following's not going up much. I think a lot of people, like everyone's on Instagram, so it's not like all these people are signing up and like, who can I follow? Who can I follow? Who can I follow? I think a lot of people are kind of minimizing the people they follow. And then they're not seeing the posts as much. I think they're just watching the stories.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
What do you look at the posts more or the stories?
Recently I haven't been looking at anything.
Yes, good, good.
But I think a lot of people are looking at stories more than posts versus scrolling up. People just don't have time to, scroll anymore. It's just more like story. Okay, let me laugh at that. Keep going. Ooh, what's this? Swipe up,
Yeah.
So, I think that people are looking at stories more. And with the post, you can't really see everyone's posts, but you can see everyone's stories.
Right.
So,
right. Yeah, the new algorithm, Instagram. And like, especially if Instagram knows you're a business and you have a business profile, I promise you they're showing your posts less because they want you to push that boost button and spend like $5, $10, $50, $100.
Yep.
Instagram is owned by Facebook. It's a public company. They need to make revenues. They have investors, board of directors. Got to make that money. Right? So like it's not all just going to be free and you're this business running off Instagram. I mean, that's why I tell people all the time, you have to be real careful. If your whole traffic and business is just through Instagram, very dangerous.
Super dangerous. But even this year, we've ramped up on blogging.
Mm-hmm.
We have some more bloggers, but just thinking about where we started with the blog, we weren't really blogging that much.
It was once a week, maybe. I was writing a post maybe once a week, and maybe you would get a post in there every once in a month or 2 weeks or something.
Was that shade?
No, it's just the truth. It's the truth.
I think that was shade.
Moving on, because when I throw some shade, you feel it.
But yeah, the blog is definitely ramping up. We just added Simi to the team.
Yeah, Simi Shake,
new editor, assistant editor to Megs, aka Megan. I won't say her middle name. But so we have Simi on the team. Fanella's down there killing it too. So it's just good. Like everything is going great.
It's been such, if you really sometimes it's hard just to slow down and look at your business, right? And sometimes, and it's funny because I actually thought about it the other day because you were joking with me about like, oh, you got, this is the big business now and all this stuff. And I'm like, whoa. Like,
I called you big time.
Big, call me big. I'm like, I'm wearing my Target shirt.
Yeah.
I'm wearing my Marshall shorts and like, no, like not big. And, but then when you said it, it's like, no, like you built up this business.
Yeah, but
I
remember though, it's kind of like, I joke with my dad too. And I kind of look at my dad like a mentor, and I look at Mikey like
sure.
I look at Mikey like a mentor too. So it's kind of like seeing where you were, me learning from you then, and then seeing where you are now, me learning from you now. It's kind of like, oh yeah, you big time, taking trips every 2 days, Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but when you can slow down and actually reflect on everything,
right.
I have to say thanks to everyone. Yeah. I mean, it's been amazing. Like, we could never have gotten here to this point. And, I know 100% positive we're going to make the Inc. 5000 this year, which is the 5,000 fastest growing companies in America. CPA already submitted the paperwork. They came back with some extra stuff. So, like, when they come back and, like, want re-verification and, like, some extra stuff, I'm thinking we're looking pretty good in those, like... So you have the Inc. 5000, which is the 5,000 fastest. Mm-hmm. But if you make it up to 500 and 5 from 500 to 1, or 1 to 500 of that 5,000, that's called the Inc. 500. I think there's a chance we're going to make in the 500 fastest growing companies. And the thing I'm most excited about is, because I know my mom, love her to death. She actually works for us part-time now.
Oh, yeah.
She doesn't listen to the podcast. She's not into podcasting yet. I'm trying to get her into it. But I want, my thing is, I want her to, like, one of the first people I tell is going to be my mom, and I'm going to give her my iPad, the extra big one, and I'm just going to have it, and I'm going to be like, I want to record it. And I was like, Mom, oh my God, I don't know what happened. Just read this. And because my mom is so excited about the progress that we've all made.
That's super good. Yeah.
And now her working inside the company and seeing the inside of how hard we all work. And some of the crazy stuff we have to deal with and everything else, like for her to see that, her son made, definitely in the 5,000 fastest growing companies in America is a big deal.
Yeah, for sure.
As an entrepreneur, that's like a dream.
Yeah, for sure.
And then for the team, like motivation, like, hey guys, we got to keep this. Yeah, we got to keep this thing going. So they come out with the information like who made it, I think in July. I don't know if they tell you the position, but it's in July. So, I'm definitely going to be looking for that email every single day, and I'm going to be so excited to tell everybody. And then I guess we'll find out later when we make the position. So I mean, that's that kind of stuff. When you start winning like awards for stuff you do, especially, it's hard to get recognition sometimes in the hair industry.
Yeah,
there's not much stuff like. It's a sexy industry, but it's not like technology that like all these people like to write about and the news stuff, blah, blah, blah. So just to do something different in the hair industry and then to do it very well, have a lot of successful clients, to build a community behind it, to have an awesome staff. It's a lot.
For sure. Let's talk about what's to come. What do we have coming up, that people can look forward to?
I think we're going to be putting out more free tools to make it even easier to start your hair business.
Yep.
And lash business.
You can't beat free. Like we've come out with so much free stuff. Like between the tools, the blog, just the information on the blog,
the free courses on university, the podcast, all these everything. Videos. Like people say, "Oh, I don't know where to start." I'm like, you start by just reading these blog posts,
educating yourself. Yeah. I heard someone say, you can't become a master at something until you've done your research on, what it is that you're trying to become a master at. So I think before you even jump into the hair industry, you should have a really good knowledge or education portal on your mind of like, what are hair extensions? How did they get started? What's the business side of it? What do I need? What do I do? That way you're not kind of going in blindsided. And we have blogs on all of that.
We cover every little subject.
Yeah.
So I think that, we're going to come out with a ton more products. I'm already looking at kind of hair or beauty related. So we're going to be expanding that whole offering.
Staying in our lane.
Yeah, staying in our lane, but kind of, related, kind of like how we did hair. And then we added lashes. Yeah. Now we have lash applicators coming, the edge control.
You tried to slide that in there, lash applicators.
Those lash applicators are nice.
Yeah.
Rose gold.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll have those soon. In different types of hair, definitely more clip-ins, tape-ins, colors, weights, styles of that. Probably get into natural hair a little bit. Like we have the 4C, but a lot of people are asking about like, a little bit, that's the super tight coil, fro-y kind of look.
Yeah.
I freaking love it. I think it's awesome. But there's ones that are like not as much like a kinky curly or a tight coil. It's this in between.
Yeah.
So offering stuff like that. Maybe getting into hair care products a little bit.
Maybe. Dabble.
A little dabble. And then as far as, like I said, we have some technology stuff coming up that's... Some secrets. Pretty...
Top secret.
Pretty revolutionary for the hair industry.
Revolutionary.
I mean... Yeah. Totally 100% set us apart from any other hair company in the world.
For sure.
I mean, really that big. That's where when I was away and Shay was filling in, you know. So, we'll have that coming up and I'll be able to talk about that more in like a month or so. And, we'll have our new location.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be able to do classes. Remember, we're going to do classes
seminars at the
mini seminars, like mini training seminars inside our new location, which I'm super excited about because it's not going to be these things where like I see some of these, oh God. You know where I'm going.
You got stressed out.
I see these people like take my $25 webinar. I'm like, I look at their site and their marketing stuff. I'm like, you don't even know how to market and you're selling marketing. Okay. So like not that kind of thing, but it's going to be like, I want to have
hands-on, like bring your laptop. We're going to show you
10 people in a room. And it's like, okay, guys, we're going to make you, I don't want to say an expert, but let's set up all the automations and all this extra stuff to actually sell a lot more.
Right.
Because a lot of people think once they get a website, they're done. That's the beginning.
Right. Just the beginning.
That's like the frame of your house. And you're going to be adding all these other things, the windows, the doors, the roof, the this, that, the other. That's really what a website is. It's not just the site, but all the additional features that make it successful.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to bring people in, probably like 10 at a time, keep it small, keep it affordable, right? Bring them in, hands-on, step by step. Let's get all this set up today.
Yeah.
It might be like a 4 to 6 hour class, start off with the theory behind some of the stuff, get their whole thing set up.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's not like, they're going to be motivated, but it's not like they're motivated and they have to go do something.
Right.
They're motivated and had something done.
Right. And have like a checklist of what needs to be done, but they have like proper guidance on how to get it done.
Yeah. So we'll set up stuff like that. So that's going to be super, that's going to be really cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
Me too.
And then, of course, we have our new studio coming.
Oh, yeah.
So our podcast, like the video is going to be set up better. And then, of course, we're going to be building our YouTube team. So we're going to be creating tons of videos. So we're going to be looking to collab with local stylists or stylists that are just in town to make all sorts of videos on how to do everything hair.
Beauty influencers.
2018 might be the year I learned how to color hair.
You've been saying that for forever.
I know the theory behind it, but I just got to get my
technique.
Yeah, I got to put some gloves on and not get my hands dirty.
Right.
Because you don't want to touch that stuff. But you know what I mean? Like just the actual application portion.
Yeah.
So that's one of my goals. I want to learn Dallas. I'll get Dallas Christopher to help me out with that.
Yeah. Dallas is lit.
And then Zakiyrah is going to be creating a bunch more courses. We're looking for more people to collaborate with on our courses.
Yeah.
So if you're listening to this and you know anyone that has courses that you need an additional outlet to get kind of more exposure, reach out to us.
Yeah. Or if you have a course and want to add it to Hair University, make sure you check out the courses that we already have on there, and then shoot us an email.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that's, it's amazing to be able to sit here and we kind of talk about, because it's not often I can really go all the way back and think of like how we got started. And we're getting so far ahead that I'm glad we talk about this stuff, because I'll end up forgetting. And then I can go back and listen. Oh, yeah, I remember all that now, But, so, yeah, it's been a journey, but just everybody that we've helped, we've helped launch now thousands of hair businesses, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, they're probably on this, they're in year 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
So don't expect it to get really good. You got to hold off. Like you got to keep pushing 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
When it's funny. I was telling a friend of mine that runs a really successful business, tech company in the music industry, and they're at Atlanta Tech Village. Mm-hmm. So David Cummings, if you look up David Cummings, sold his company for like a couple $100 million. And he sat down with this guy, my friend, and he's telling him about like, he's coming up with all these ideas. Entrepreneurs, we all have all these ideas, right? The biggest problem with entrepreneurs is we try to do too much. He told him, and he told me the same thing, so it kind of made sense. He's like, look, when you're getting into years like 4, 5, and 6 for your business, that's a real important time to continue to grow. Mm-hmm. He says things are going to get redundant and boring.
Yeah.
Okay? When things are redundant and boring, you still have to stay focused, hold on, and just keep doing what you're doing. Because what a lot of times people in business will do is like they'll have something working and then they'll see something else and be like, oh, maybe I should try this too, or spend more time on this, or instead. And then what was working is no longer working anymore because they're not focused on it and they're on something else that's not working. Yeah. And it doesn't make sense. So you really have to focus on what's working. And I think that's one of the keys to success, in years 3, 4, 5, 6 and beyond.
Yeah, I think that's true too. But I'm just super excited for what we have going on, what we've accomplished, what we're going to accomplish. Inc. 5000 next month. Yeah.
A couple months.
Yeah. And then once we get into this new building, it's going to be so exciting, phenomenal. Everything we're going to be doing, it's going to be really nice. The color schemes. Yeah, we're going to have this big grand opening. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, everyone's invited.
Yep, everyone's invited. But yeah, so I guess until next time.
Yeah, until next time. But
make sure.
I want to say personally, publicly, thank you, Zakiyrah, for being with us for so long.
Thanks,
sometimes I forget it's been so long. Like we've been through journeys. Like Zakiyrah and I are cool. Like we don't argue or anything like that. But we have been. If you really I'm sitting here thinking about, we have been through it with this business.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So like the longevity, I really appreciate it, and you're not allowed to ever quit. Okay. So there's still a lot further to go.
Yeah, for sure.
And, it's going to be we're so close on so many levels and so many things. It's going to be great for everyone. And I think, personally, that is my goal for everyone.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, thanks for being with us for this many years and being my, co-host on the podcast.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. I'm grateful for the opportunity. I was able to learn so much thus far, and I'm just excited for what I will learn. So,
we're just getting started.
Yeah. So
year 5 or whatever we are on.
Before I start crying, make sure you guys subscribe to Hair Biz Radio and stay tuned for episode 32.
Yes. All right. Thanks, guys. Glad to be back.